Welcome back, finalists, to episode 5 of The Vault. This is going to be an interview with the one and only Etelco from Aimerz, one of the foremost pro players in the scene as it stands right now. I, of course, am Waltz, as always, joined by Rio. How's it going, Rio?
It's going great today. And today's episode is sponsored by Dyson. Powering eliminations. Power is power.
And of course, like I said, we are joined by Etelco. Etelco, it is amazing to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Etelco, as you know. I'm 24 years old. I'm from France. And actually, I'm a competitive player on the finals since 1 year. I've been playing this game since the first closed beta. And
Nice.
But I'm also a content creator. I'm making videos on YouTube and stream on Twitch for principally my French audience. But I want to, be able to speak and to interact with everyone around the world. So I'm doing also some English content on stream, and I'm creating a lot of events like tournaments, etc. But primarily, I'm a huge competitor. I love the esports scene. I love to compete. So yeah, I'm a competitive player at first.
Yeah, that's awesome, and that's a great introduction. I know that my introduction to you was when you were in the breakout events. I remember casting some games that you were playing in, so it's cool to see that you're still in the scene, still competing, and that the finals is really going live. And before we dive into the interview, let's go over just what's happening in the scene this week and what's upcoming. Waltz, I know that you have been kind of involved with GunBuck, so why don't you kind of start with what's going on there?
Yeah, I've been chatting with that guy quite a lot. Fantastic guy, fantastic creator. He is actually today, while we're recording, so it is going to be in the past. It's one of our past events, but he had the second day of his three weekend long events. So he's had some games today. Unfortunately, the PlayStation Network outage caused some delays, so he had to postpone one. So if you tune in next Saturday on the 15th, you're actually going to get 4 best of 3s. He's going to go through a bunch of them. Check it out. We'll have a link in the description. Exciting stuff from him. And then we also have a Powershift tournament coming up next Saturday as well. You want to tell us about that one, Rio?
Yeah, it's the Bad Beaver is hosting one, and there is a lot of talent that's being implored in here. I think that Thixie's involved. I don't have the list in front of me of everybody, but I know that it's a big event. And from watching Waltz's previous Powershift event, it seems like it's actually going to be a lot of fun. I think that you have more experience, and we've talked about it before, doing a Powershift event. But I'd love to see the creativity and the variation of things that are happening. And Powershift is there. I've actually been playing it more recently because it's just kind of casual and just a little fun. Like I'm a little tired at the end of the day, and I just kind of want to still play some finals. So that's really cool. That's going on. And then previously we talked about the Diff event. No date, but you want to announce that it is still going on?
Yes, that will still be happening. It has been delayed, unfortunately. There were some unfortunate circumstances, so we had to postpone it, but that will be coming eventually. We'll keep you updated on when that does happen. Moving on to the past events, obviously, like we said last week, GunBuck had his the first day of his event. Go check that out. Check the VODs. We'll leave links to that. But we also, Etelco actually has been doing more to host some events. And so I know that you recently had your Etelcup, which I thought was a great name. Can you tell us a little bit about that event?
Wow, this first event was crazy for me. As you said, that was Etelcup for Etelco and Cup, obviously. So Etelcup, that was a good name, I think, for this event. And yeah, I wanted to, bring all the other players who don't have the opportunity to play as a competitive player and to play in big tournaments. And I wanted to bring everyone to, create a big atmosphere, a big event where they can have a lot of emotions, while playing, etc. And they will be like, oh man, I love this game. I was so happy to play. I was excited. Even if they lose, they don't care, I wanted them to be very happy and to dream, about other things, big things. Even I know that's still little things, but that's a good start, I think. And for the first event, that was 90% only for French people, but that was also other players from the world were able to join. But I'm a French content creator, so obviously I have a lot of French people who followed me. But that was a very good start. I think I was close to 200 viewers on Twitch. I was for a few hours number 2 or 3 in the world on Twitch, and that was like only for a player creating this type of event. I was like so impressed. That was so cool. And I was also on the commentary side. I was creating everything. I was also inspired about the Waltz tournaments. Like he have a good Excel, etc. And I used everything he created before. So I was like, thanks Waltz for the work. That was insane. But yeah, like I'm a competitive player, but also I know I'm not professional yet, maybe one day. So I need to, to create some other events. I need to work a lot to bring everyone to develop the ecosystem of the finals and all the people around this game. And that was a very good start. And maybe I will tease something at the end of the video. We don't know for the next events, next tournaments, we will see. But yeah, nice. That was fucking huge. And also the finals and some employees of Embark was watching a bit. And they were cool. Oh, this guy is doing a good job. Maybe we should work with him. We don't know. And that was pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds like a really fun event. And you have... it's your first time doing it, so really impressive, and doing casting on it as well. I know it's just so involved, and every person that I have worked with before, they're just like exhausted at the end because it's just so much to host, to run, to manage, to talk to every person involved. So I do commend you on running your own cup, because it's a lot of work that I don't think people realize to make it run smoothly. So that's really exciting. But yeah, let's dive into some questions because we think you are a very interesting person in the scene, and we just want to kind of pick your brain about what's going on. So you did mention that you joined in closed beta 0, right? The very first one. What was your experience? What was the very first thing that you saw in the finals? Kind of what made you want to play it?
To be honest, I didn't play it so much. Like I think, like everyone, I was just like excited to play a new game. Like also like the videos and the teaser from the game was crazy at the start, and I was just like, oh man, I just need to test this game. So I played a bit, and with my brother, and I was like, man, the destruction system, the energy in this game, like all the nervous gameplay of this game was insane, and also I love FPS, but I was also impressed about the quality of the game. Like everything is beautiful, the environment, etc., the sky, the building, and I was like, okay man, I love this game. There is a lot of explosions, there is a lot of actions happening everywhere, but I was also confused a bit about how this game works. Like I was like, okay, what we need to do as a team, as a player, but I figured out how to play after, obviously. But yeah, I think that's a mix between the quality of the game, but also as at the same time the explosivity and the energy on this game. Like everything was very fast, etc. You need to kill everyone. You need to be careful because everything will explode, and that was very cool. That's why I love this game so much, because you don't know what will happen.
Oh yeah, and is that what drove you to start playing competitively? Like, at what point did you decide this is a game you were going to start pouring your time into?
It's complicated because personally, I'm a big competitor since I'm a children. I want to be first every time. I want to win everything. I think it's in my personality, But the finals is my second game where I'm a player, a competitive player. Previously, I was playing a game. The name was Knockout City. Not a lot of people know this game, but that was a 3 versus 3 game. Dodgeball game approximately.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was crazy. And here I was like, okay, the game don't exist anymore, unfortunately. And I was like, I need to find other things because I want to have a big dream on other games. And the finals was I don't know, like I have a feeling with this game. I can't explain it. I'm just like, man, this game is. I love this. I don't know to explain. Like it just that's bringing me a lot of emotions. As I said, like there is a lot of actions. There is a lot of things going on, and I think with my experience, as I said, I was playing a 3 versus 3 game, and here actually I'm also playing in a team of 3 players. So maybe the coincidence was like okay. from my background, maybe I was like more able to play and compete because that was already the same things for me like past 1 year or 2 years when I was playing other games with the same numbers of players, So like the game itself and plus that, I think that's why, and also I managed to be good very fast. So I was like, maybe I have a chance to do something, we don't know. So that's why.
It sounds like you have a real connection to the game, and that's what we feel.
Exactly.
I don't know how to explain it. There's just something like I've played hundreds of games over the years, and there's just something that I feel connected to it, and it's why we wanted to create content, and it's why you want to be competitive in it. And so I understand what you're feeling very wholeheartedly, and I think that there's a lot of other people out there. That's a great overview of why you play the finals, why you're into it. So now that you are playing competitive, what's it like finding teammates? How do you kind of find somebody? Is it just people you play with? Is it just friends? Like, what is your kind of criteria now that you're actually kind of getting more serious?
Yeah, good questions, because that's very difficult actually. To be clear, like at the start, I was playing with my brother, who is in fact my twin brother, Noax. I think you know him. Noax, I played with him like from 1 year. That was my brother, so obviously that was easy to find a teammate because we were literally in the same house. Like, do you know this game? Yeah, I love this game. You are good? Yeah, me too. Okay, let's create a team. Let's go. And for the third player, every time, I mean, we have a good experience. We are good players, so that was not so difficult to find the third player and to organize a lot of tryouts. Obviously, at the start, that was always another French player because that was like more easy for us to communicate, to play, etc. But there is no professional scene, so there is no contract with everyone. So I think everyone needs to have a lot of opportunities and a lot of tryout, a lot of tests. So we managed to test a lot of other people's. A lot of other players, and I think you just need to be active everywhere. Like, join every Discord, join every social media accounts, like, be aware of everything, be very curious about the environment of the game, and don't hesitate to create a lot of contact, and discuss with everyone around you. I think that's coming from the personality as well. Like, you need to be able to speak with everyone, to have a good social skills, maybe. And just to be curious and very dedicated to find other serious people like you, or maybe not serious, like, just people like you, maybe, with the same goals. So, I think, you just need to be, like, very aware of everything and being good also, because if you are not good enough and you want to reach the highest goals, obviously, sometimes you need to face the reality of it. So, it's depend. I will say, you need to be very active and aware of everything, but very seriously,
Yeah. Gotcha.
I know that I'm really curious as kind of moving into a discussion, sort of how you actually build, like, you finding your teammates, building that team, but within that team, are you really just looking for people that you mesh with, or do you actually try to look for people who fill out certain roles? Like, do you go into a team and say, here is going to be our team composition, or do you say, okay, here's somebody who can play this role, the scout role, or the DPS role, or the support role? How does right now, and I know we're in a time of transition in the game as people learn how to play, but is there currently within teams sort of a role and a concept of, like, your place in the team?
Obviously, that's something you need to think about. Like, obviously, as you said, like, there is multiple classes on this game. Like, you will be able to play 3 different classes. So it's very important to know what do you want, and also to know the meta, because the meta will change, and maybe you don't need 3 AV in your team. Maybe you just need 2 mediums and 1 light. Like, I don't know, but so at first I think we were aware of the meta. Like, we know the meta perfectly. So we were like, okay, we are both playing this class. So now we just need to find other player who is capable of to play this class. And obviously, if you were curious and interested in the scene of the finals, you probably know already some names. You just need to make a list. You will be like, okay, I know this guy. I know like maybe 5 good AVs. I need to list them, and you will contact them one by one, and maybe they will be interested or no. But also at the same time, when a lot of people know you, you just need to put some messages and announcements like, okay guys, we are looking for an AV, contact us and we will see. And sometimes you will have maybe a 10 DM or maybe 5, like you don't know, but you need to proceed like with everything you have if you want to find the right guy. But yeah, like we have lists, we have contacts, and obviously we know very well the scene as well, so that was very easy to find the right names for us every time. So yeah, I think as I said, that's all of that, like a mix between the knowledge of the competitive scene and the ability to be aware of everything and be active everywhere, a mix of everything.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree, and it sounds like you have kind of a method of finding people. So, yeah, and you currently are not playing on a team, or do you have a team composed right now, or kind of who are you playing with?
It's complicated because since 1 year I switch with a lot of players. Like from 1 year I was playing still with Nox. I mean, me and Nox was the duo. That was a fixed duo.
Classic.
But every time we were switching with a third player, like a new AV player every time, and I was also a AV player at first. But now, after 1 year of playing the finals together, sadly I can announce to everyone I'm not playing anymore with Nox, my twin brother, because sadly, I mean, playing with your brother is pretty difficult. It's the same to start a business with your family, etc.
Yep.
Every time you don't have the same vision. I mean, we know we are both good and we are forming a good team, but the ambitions, the emotions, especially, you are bringing into the vocal and into everything. Like, it's quite hard sometimes. So, for the health of the team and for the health of ourselves, for tomorrow, for next events, that was a good decision, I think, to split with Nox and Nox with me.
Yeah.
And actually, I mean, try out with other people, with other European players. I just announced that to all the other players, and I received a lot of message from other players who were like, okay, dude, I want to train and try out with you. Nice. I know you're good, and maybe we can do a lot of things. And so yeah, I mean, try out with some names. Some players know already, but that's not definitive actually. I'm still part of the Aimerz clan because as a lot of people know, I'm a player for Aimerz, the FPS clan. So that's very good, and maybe in the future we will be. I will have a team for that, but. Actually, today I was playing a Russian tournament with this team. Actually, I was in tryout. We finished the second of this tournament.
Nice.
That was pretty fine for a start. We are not training a lot, but that was a pretty cool start. So maybe we will compete again together. But we don't have any more information about the major. I mean, for the public, I have some, obviously.
Yeah.
I have a lot of information. I can't talk about that, but I'm just, waiting the right moment to announce a real team for the next months,
Yes, lots of things that will start coming out as those announcements actually are officially made, and we actually get to sort of announce. So I'm looking forward to hearing who the new Aimerz team will be. That's going to be really exciting. I am curious, as you said, because you said you're trying out with them, and you said you're not training a lot with them right now, and so I wonder, what does that look like for a professional finals team, like a team that's really trying to compete at the highest level, how do you as a team improve? Is it mostly scrims? Do you ever take time and just sort of theory craft ideas? How do you improve as a team and make yourselves better?
Yeah, I think I lied a bit about saying we are not training a lot. Obviously, we are training like quite a lot. Like I mean, close to one training per day. You know,
Okay.
so that's quite a lot. Like, so I mean, there's a lot of things. You know, if you want to be good at the game, I think there is a lot in the head. You know, I'm speaking a lot of mindsets. I think for a player, there is a lot. You need to think about you first and how you can improve mentally, physically, etc. So as a team, there is a lot of things, but I prefer to talk about the individual player at first, because you need to train like a real athlete, like a sport athlete. Etc. So that's coming from the physical health, the mental health. You need to sleep well, you need to eat well, and you know that's what I'm trying to do. Like all my day is I have a plan, I have an action plan for that. You know, every time I try to do some work, I try to sleep, I try to very have a athlete journey. You know, like a routine, like a pro player. You know. So that's very important when you have big goals like that to participate for the major, to be a pro player. I think you need to anticipate all of that and be prepared, because as I said, there is no professional scene yet, but that don't mean you are not capable or able to perform like a pro player. You know, so for me that's very important, and for the team aspects. You need to be aware that not everything's gonna be good. You will not perform 100% of the time. You will have a bad day. You will have good day, and you need to be very good. You need to communicate well as well. Like that's the most important things I think in a team game. You need to be able to speak clearly. Like not me actually with my poor English, that's very bad, but you need to be able to express yourself, be energetic, and also at the same time being dedicated to the game. Like you need to be, you need to put the effort, you need to train a lot even if you don't want, and you need to be very serious. Like that's normal. You need to be a pro player. If you want to be a pro player, even if you are not yet, you need to train and have the mindset of a pro player. And I think that's the best things I can tell to other people who want to reach this type of level. But yeah, obviously, as you said, we are doing a lot of scrims. Scrims are very important because you have the condition of a high stress level game. You are playing against very good teams. So individual skills, you need to train a lot as an individual player, but you need also, when you are playing scrims, to play like a tournament. You need to be like, okay, I'm playing a tournament right now, but that's only scrims. So you will be, you know, that's a good habit to have. So yeah, I will say a lot of training, individual training, a lot of self-care, and a lot of scrims and serious training with your team every day, every week.
Yeah, no, I think that's actually a really wonderful answer, and I love how you broke it down into like self as well, because there's a lot of self-care that you need to take care of, because like even I can tell when I'm tired. This game is so fast, it's so rapid that I can't play well if I'm just even exhausted. So I really appreciate that, and I think that you're right. You have a lot, you know, putting yourself into stressful situations really helps, but you know, just kind of it's a really good overview of everything. And now you have played against a lot of teams, a lot of scrims. What do you think kind of separates each team at the high level? Like what makes, you know, some of these teams punch harder or play faster? What do you think kind of separates the teams right now? Is it aim? Is it strategy? Is it communication? What do you kind of think is key?
I think a lot of people think like when you are playing a FPS, the aim will have a big difference, but obviously a bit, yes, that's normal. But I think what can separate good teams with very, very good teams, that's obviously the experience at first. Experience, because you know perfectly the game, you know every situations of the game, you know what to do every time. So a lot of experience is very useful to be able to reach the top as a team, but also a very good communication and plans. I think what is the difference is a lot of teams are like, okay, we are playing good, we are good players, but we don't know what to do every time. Like, you will have a bit of chance because the finals require a bit of chance, but you need to have a strict plan for everything. Like, if they will do that, we will do that. If we are in this type of situation, we will do that every time. And I think practicing every day with everything, you will be able to play with every situation, but you need to be aware of all this situation, and where you are on one of them, you need to be able to talk with your team and be like, okay guys, we are in this type of situation now, so remember, we need to do that now.
Okay.
But that's a very fast game, so you need to think about it very fast and act very fast at the same time. And I think the capacity to play fast is also a very, very important thing, because if you are not fast enough every time, you will lose, you will be killed. So yeah, you need to be very fast and be aware of all the situations and plan you have to counter everything.
Yeah, there is so much information to handle at all times in the finals. There's just so much going on, especially within Cashout and things of that nature. So that makes a lot of sense, making sure that your team is equipped and has the experience, and that you get people with the knowledge to diagnose and say, oh, this is what is happening, here's how we handle it because of something we've done in the past. That makes a lot of sense, like having a team that has the communication but skill together. That makes so much, like the strategy is a big part of it.
Yeah.
And I am curious, actually, because you did talk about having to adapt, with players to an evolving meta and things of that nature. Want to move into maybe a discussion on sort of the state of the game and what things are at right now, because we have seen what are your thoughts sort of on the current meta, like how that's progressing? Like over the season 3, season 4, we continued to see mostly medium, heavy, a little bit heavy, medium. Lights were sprinkled in there every now and then, but it was very rare. And over season 4 towards now, we've started to see a lot more lights. We've seen HML become a more consistent comp. Do you think we're in a place where that is actually a viable comp? Are there multiple viable compositions? Where does the meta sit right now?
I will say now, if you are not playing HLM composition, you are trolling.
Really? Wow. Okay. That's cool.
Every team in high level now are playing heavy medium lights. That's very important in my opinion, because that's now a very good composition with a lot of stuff. A very balanced composition, because now we were talking about the meta as well, and as you know, the meta changed a lot. We are still a bit in the plug meta, not a lot now because of the previous patch, but still a bit. So the light is very important with portal teleportation. The gateway, I mean. There is a lot of shield. The mesh shield is good now for the AV. The pike and the long range weapon for the medium. So there is a lot of stuff, and also the glitches of the light to counter every shield. There is a lot of things, with this composition, and when you play good with this composition, you are unbeatable against all the other. So yeah, I know my words are quite hard to hear, but yeah, if you are not playing HML, you are trolling. I mean, if other players are like, no way, he's saying bullshit, what he's talking about. Guys, I can tell by my experience, and for the future of the game, actually, I can swear to you guys, be ready to get stomped by other HML composition.
Wow.
Because no, I can tell for sure. Like but that don't mean you are not able to win with other composition. You can win still if you are very good and if you have a bit of chance. But if you want to maximize your chance of win rates, you need to play HML for sure.
That's so exciting. That's so exciting to me. I mean, because like, even Waltz and I have talked about this, that like, is that the end goal of the game? Is that where it's supposed to be? And it sounds like from you, it's a resounding yes. So I'm 100% behind it. I think that it is, because if it is well done, it shows that it's a balanced game, that you have, and I think you pointed out everything that was balanced. You have the mesh shield that's good for heavy, so you have good close range stuff. You have the pike that's now good for mid range engagements, and you have the light that's really good at movement and getting everything, the cash out in the plug. And things have changed recently, but that just sounds well rounded, and in such a chaotic game, that's awesome. So. Yeah. And it's funny because our follow-up question to this was like, are multiple strategies, other comps viable? And you actually answered that by saying, yeah, you can still win, by doing, something wild. But I don't know, what do you think is the best off meta? So if you were told you can't do light, medium, heavy for whatever reason, what would you do? Just in a weird restriction, just because I want to pick your head.
If you want to troll a bit...
Yeah, there we go. That's perfect.
No, I mean, yeah. I will say off meta, maybe, 2 AV, 1 medium. That was the meta from the season 1. That was a lot of double AV, a lot of double AV, 1 medium. That was, oh my god, this ranked mode in season 1. That was hell. That was hell on this game. But maybe this type of composition, like with one AV will play Slage Aimerz, one other AV will play maybe the Shaq 50 or Flamethrower, this type of composition, and you will bunker yourself with 2 dome shield, with 2 mesh shield, etc., with one medium healing everyone, maybe a composition like that would be fun, I think, to play with.
Nice.
That's really exciting. That is where we're sitting, and I love that. I love that heavy medium kind of makes a comeback in a way. Now that we're far removed from it, maybe we can think of it fondly, but I'm definitely not ready for it to come back yet. I do want to move on. So, follow-up question to that. You even talked about how light is still useful, like in context of the plug meta being a lot more downsized at this point. I think it kind of exists, but it definitely doesn't exist the same way. But so I'm curious because the big topic of our episode last week was, can Cashout ever be a viable competitive mode? Can you ever put Cashout in and expect it to actually give you consistent results? All of my, most of my events and like Breakout and things like that, they have used Cashout. I actually, you mentioned that you modeled your most recent Etelcup after some of the events I did. I was very flattered to see that, actually. That was really cool. But so it seems like you also did Cashout for your event. I'm curious as to your thoughts on Cashout as a mode. Is it viable? Should it be used in a competitive format?
For me, it is, but with the right balanced thing. Like, you need to have a game where everyone will have a fair gameplay, So I think the mode itself is very good. Like, that's the DNA of the game, and that's very competitive if every weapon, every gadget, every specializations are well balanced. So, for me, the game modes like now with the previous patch is more competitive, because actually you are not sure about which team will win until the end. Like with the previous patches, like you were like, okay, at the middle of the game you can already see the two top teams who will be qualified sometimes, because for the 2 last minutes of the game, the 2 top teams have a lot of cash and they can't lose anymore, so that was a bit sad. And also for the first team, they were able to grief anyone at any time. That was too easy, So now with this little changes now, like the percentage changes, so I think that's more competitive. You can't grief people too easily now. Even if you can still, that's difficult now. That's more difficult, but that's not impossible. So I will say that if you have the right format, and for the competition, that will be the most important things, because now the game mode is evolving with different patches, etc.
Yeah.
So that's more competitive, but also the format is very important. How many points, how many game, how many phases, group stage, playoff, etc. So I think that's also the most important things, how you will reward the teams and which team will be eliminated, etc. So actually I can tell, I can't talk a lot about this, but as I said, I have a lot of information for the next major, etc. And I can tell I'm so excited because the formats are literally insane, in my opinion. That's insane, that's very competitive, that's huge. And with all these informations I have actually, I think that will be very cool. To be honest, and I think this game can be a very good esport game, and also for his game mode as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I completely agree. I think that you touched on a lot of really good things. For the finals overall, there are some things that make it unique. There are some things that make it challenging. What are kind of the challenges that you see in this game that you don't see in other games, that you've never seen in other FPSs, or kind of, let's go with that.
The things I don't see in other games, like obviously that's the system of Vault and Cashout, etc. Like all the money you need to take with you, etc. I think the system itself of the finals with chest and Vault, etc. That's insane. Like I love that you need to bring a chest with you. You need to plug it into a cash box, etc. You need to defend it from other teams. Like the system itself, like that's insane. I love that with 4 teams in the arena who are fighting. Like, and also the environment, because the environment of the game, like you can see a lot of virtual spectators watching you in the arena, the commentators in your ears, etc. Like even when you are playing the game, you feel like a gladiator, like you are a competitor, like, and that's insane, I think. So yeah, I think that's the environment and the system itself of the game that's so unique, so original, that's bring me a lot of emotions. So yeah, that's why I love to play this game instead of other competitive FPS,
Yep. It scratches an itch that no other game really scratches. And no, I mean, I can't agree more. It has that level of constant engagement, and the flow between the objectives is just it's so satisfying when your team makes it work. And yeah, like it's so unique. And so one of our final questions is sort of, as we move forward to the next year. I know you said there's a lot of stuff you can't talk about, but in terms of just personal things that you would love to see, are there things that you'd really like to see in the game, whether that be balance changes, maps, anything at all? What are some things you would love to see within the game over the next year? What's your ideal game look like?
A lot of things. I mean, like this game, I have a lot of things to do, and like they can do a lot of things. So maybe I would like to see some, competitive mode. I will say, like Fortnite, they have the Cash Cup mode. Like, that's a separate mode from other mode of the game, like especially for the competitive side of the game. And I would love to see some, some in the menu of the game, the competitive or pro scene, and you just need to click on it to watch all the next matches, etc. Like, that would be so cool, yeah. Amazing. Like insane. And also, I was thinking about that, but they need to develop the system of sponsor. Like imagine you will spawn in a lobby with all the sponsor in front of you when they're working in their office, and you will be able to speak with them to accept some contract, etc. And like develop the sponsor system at the highest level. Like I would love to walk around some sponsor, to speak with them, to interact with them, the CEO of each teams.
Yeah, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, like just to sign with them, to sign some contract with them, and like physically doing this with them, not with only an interface, that would be insane to have this in the finals. And to bring all the new competitive tools to the game as well. The spectating mode, like I want this, the spectate mode, I want these tools to be to evolve in the game, have more features. So there is a lot of things to do with the finals, honestly.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had actually never thought about the CEO thing. That really would be kind of cool, and like working your way up through the ranks. So if anybody's listening, that's a pretty good idea. But I think that kind of our last question over just what the finals is what are your goals over this next year? I know we have the major coming up. Just what does Etelco have planned for yourself in this next year?
I have a lot of plans actually. One of my goals for this year was to be Unbark / the finals partner. Actually, I can officially say I'm one of them now. I'm officially the finals partner. I'm so happy with that. So at least for this month, at least for 1 month, maybe a few others, we don't know. I hope so. And the other goals for me, obviously, it's to participate to the major. Maybe to win it, but principally to participate to it. And being a professional player, that's my dream. I want to be a professional player and compete in a big stage.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I want to create a lot of things around me. Like, I want to create a lot of videos, a lot of events. I want to create a big community around this game and to grow up this the finals audience, and maybe creating some physical events for the finals. Maybe there is already one coming soon for me in France. The first one in Europe. That will be insane. But I will tease a bit, I will not speak more about this, but I have a lot of work and a lot of events going on from my side. I'm working a lot. I have also a few sponsors around the world who are happy to sponsor me for my events. Wow. Actually, I signed a new American sponsor like a few hours ago.
Wow.
Today for next event. So that will be insane. I have a lot of things, and I want to create, and to be a professional player or content creator if I can live from my passions.
That sounds amazing. I cannot wait to see all the stuff that you've got planned, everything you got cooking back there in the kitchen. It sounds like, we knew this year was going to kick off in style, and I'm really excited to see what this does bring. So if people want to stay tuned on that, and they want to know what's going on, and they want to follow the stuff that you're doing, where can they find you? That sort of thing. Where Twitch, Discord, what do you got? Where can people find that?
They can find me in Twitter, X, or Twitch. Unfortunately, in my YouTube channel, I'm speaking a lot in French, so they will not understand anything. But for the Twitter and Twitch side, I'm talking a lot for my English viewers. So they can find me on these two social media, and also my Discord. I want to create the biggest community ever on this game, so I have a lot of French and English-speaking people on this Discord. Yes, they can find me here as well to participate into a lot of Etelco events. I would say that.
Well, that's awesome. And I think, before we wrap up, are there any players that you want to highlight? Anybody in the scene right now that's kind of caught your attention? Anybody at all that you just kind of want to mention for anybody that's listening?
I think I will say obviously my brother Noax. He has the same goals as me, so Noax, big up to you.
Nice.
for the rest of the adventure, but there is also a lot of players who are very dedicated to the game, and they are doing a lot of things. Like I will think about Mauser, Carnifex, Trazon. I will talk about also Mikix, someone, Emilian, etc. Those two teams and a lot of people who are working a lot to develop the final scene. There's a lot of content creator people like Tixi, Plopard, etc. I mean, there is so much good people here. I can't say every name, but yeah, you know every good people who work very hard for the final scene, actually. So yeah, I will say them especially.
It's a fantastic community overall, such really amazing people, and yeah, excited to continue to see more and more people get together and continue to see this community grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that is all for today's episode. We've kind of gone through our list. We've gotten a deep dive into who you are, what you have coming up, what you've been doing, your thoughts on the meta. Really, it's been a great interview, Etelco. We really appreciate you coming to sit down with us because,
thanks you too.
Yeah, this has been great.
That was very insane to have you guys here with me as well. Like the opportunity for me to speak with you and to be able to participate at this famous podcast. Maybe a podcast also. We can say that's a podcast as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's very cool what you are doing, and I very hope that will be famous. I think you deserve a lot of views for what you are doing and to bring a lot of more people. So I will make sure to promote what you are doing around my French and English speaking community. You guys are amazing. So yeah, thanks you a lot for that.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. It was really, truly amazing having you on here, and your English is fantastic. I was very impressed.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, because every time my French viewers are making fun of me because they're like, your accent is shit. I know that your English is terrible. Okay, my bad, but you know I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to train my English skills. So thank you for this kind words.
Oh, it's been great. We'll have to have you on in a few months again after some announcements are out. We can talk about it, and we'll have to see how much you've improved. But yeah, thank you again for coming on. That is going to be our episode, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to let us know what you thought down in the comments if you have any discussion on that, or if you're a pro player who disagrees with Etelco's stance on whether or not HML is the best comp. Let us know in the comments. See if you want to come on and you know, let them know what's actually up. But no, that was great. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll be back next time. See you then.
Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.